Is it live? Oh,
It should be going. It's preparing on my end. You know, I'm always slower than yours.
yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's saying meeting is now live streaming.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're live. Yeah, saying. Okay, so go ahead. You can start welcoming there. I'm in there.
Let's see.
Hi guys.
Hey guys, it's your two poly chicks, Tiffany and Cindy. I'm gonna try to mute this so it won't interfere.
I muted mine was already mute, probably from the last time. Hi.
No, what do you call it?
No comment.
Wait, let me see if I can. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to go back to Zoom because I can't see either one. But okay. Now I'm gonna go to Facebook. Sorry.
That's all right. Text. Let me see.
Going. There we go. Okay. All right, Cindy. So we're live and we are just to talk about Cuomo and his I don't want to say canceled, but has he been canceled? What's going on with him? He's resigned. He's been, he's just had a lot of stuff going on. So
the poor guy. No, I don't
know.
Not the poor guy, like, we feel sorry, but the poor guy, for real. You know what I was thinking about? Just, it's like 5 minutes ago, you were the hero.
Yeah.
Life is just so funny. It's like, you could be riding so high. You know how they say riding high in April, shot down in May?
Yeah.
It's literally true. Like, he won an Emmy. He got that book. He was at the top of the game. Everybody, he's the leader of the the governor's party, the governors of all the states. He's in that council of whatever. And like just the other day, he's like, I'm not resigning.
Yeah.
And I actually thought it was a typo.
What, that he's not resigning?
When I saw the news that said Cuomo resigns, I was like, that's just clickbait. I was like, clickbait. That's immediately what I thought, because he just said, I'm not resigning.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he actually did.
Yeah.
It's, you know what, I don't want to say cancel culture, because cancel culture is when something that you said or did, like, that wasn't a criminal or potentially criminal act, causes you to, be out of the public eye. With him, and what you said about the higher your pedestal, the longer your fall, or the further your fall. So that's a big thing. It's like, you know what, he was high up, and as New Yorkers, we kind of love the Cuomos. We really do. It's like his dad was the
governor for years.
His dad was the governor. He's the governor. Chris Cuomo. We love the Cuomo name. The Cuomo. And to see this happening, it's like, okay. One of the things that I was just like listening to when he was speaking about his resignation was the fact that he said it was acceptable. Like, certain norms have changed. Certain norms that I found that were socially acceptable back then are not acceptable now. And that's a big question, whether or not social norms that were acceptable 20 years ago, should we be holding people accountable for their actions today, what they did 20 years ago. And that's kind of,
because he's in his 60s, so he's definitely of a different time. He's also Italian. And Italians are known touchy. I mean, I had an Italian really close friend, reminds me of him, male, when I was at the IRS, just very touchy. Now, I mean, am I gonna go cancel? Why does my mother keep calling me? And I sent the text message to everybody that I'm live.
She's like, live where? Live?
No, she doesn't even, she's like, okay, and if you're live, you should be answering me if you're alive. If you're alive.
Yeah.
Like this time, literally keeps calling me. Literally keeps calling me.
I'm like, do you want to answer her? Like, Mom, hey, you're on speaker. Mom,
I know, right? So what I was thinking is about that lawyer one time did like get a little touchy with me. The thing is, would I wait? Literally keeps calling me 4 times, 5 times. Would I wait until this person got high up on the hall and then just like came out. That's my only question. Like, what made them wait until this time? Were you so angry because he got the Emmy, he got all of that? You're like, he ain't all that. Let me come out now. Like, what was the reason to wait?
That's a good question, and I always wonder that. I always wonder, like, why. And I know certain when you deal with rape victims, there's trauma, there's the shame that goes along with it. But we're talking about something that's, you know, a little different. It's the harassment within the workplace. Like, it's just I feel like that's a little different than actual rape. So let me just clarify that. I'm not talking about rape and the trauma that goes with that. But it is curious that they were so offended by the hug or the touch or the kiss. And when you see the news, when you see certain pictures, he kisses everybody, and they've always
everybody.
Like, the men and women and hands and feet. And I'm like, okay, he's a kissy, touchy person, and that's where the socially acceptable norms come in because of the culture. He's Italians kiss everybody, even the moms. When you see the movies, they're like,
they kiss you when they get ready to kill you.
So it's like
they kiss you when they get ready to hunt you down.
Yeah, so it's like, where does the line between the culturally acceptable things come into handy and come into play? And then what about just saying, hey, get the fuck away from me, or leave me alone, and be like,
like, I told you. Now, when it happened to me, I did freeze because I was shocked. I did. I froze. I was like very surprised because he was older, and I was like, are you serious? And this was when I was way younger. So I did freeze, and I know that people have said that you can freeze.
Okay.
But if he were to run for president right now, I certainly am not going to come out of the woodwork and be like, he tried to do X, Y, and Z to me. I'm just not going to do that. And before anybody gets all in their feelings about it, I was a rape crisis counselor, so I get it. And it's also happened to me. I think most women can say some experience that they've had being either accosted or even attacked, unfortunately, even sexually assaulted. So I think most women can, and men too, can relate to it. Would I wait until he's, governor of the year?
Different when you talk about a gesture or a hug or a kiss. That's completely different than an attack. I think that's my opinion. An attack is when you're sexually violated and someone is forcing themselves on you. Socially, and this is where we come into that when we are canceling people based on what they've said or done 20 years ago with bullying. There's somebody that was on, I think, Sports Illustrated. They bullied someone when they were in like grade school, and it came out that they were a bully, and they lost their job. What kind of society?
I bet not run for office then.
Right. Now, if it's done today, like we know now there's anti-bullying campaigns, there's the Me Too movement. There's certain things that's not socially acceptable now, but can we judge? And these are the same people that don't want to bring up the whole race theory and all of that other stuff. Let's not talk about that. But they don't want to talk about that, but they want to judge you based on 20 years ago, what you've done. And
remember they did it to Paula Deen, right? Like, she used the N-word. She's like, that's what I grew up saying. She was like, not that I'm not happy about it, but that's the era. I'm from the South.
Yep.
And this is the words we use. This is what we said. She's like, but I kiss Black people in the mouth. I love Black people. She was like, I do. I kiss. Now she might be Me Too, but she was like, I hug, I kiss. And if you watch her show, you would know she does hug and kiss everybody. It's that Southern way, but she did use the N-word. I mean, they took away her sponsorship, her book reviews, she got off the air. And this is for something she did years ago.
Right.
And I mean, I don't want you to dig up my past, because goodness gracious, I think we all have a past.
Yep. Yeah. And the craziest thing with Paula Deen, I appreciated the fact that she came out and said, she didn't deny and apologize and say, well, she's like, this is what we did back then. And that's the truth. These are the things that were acceptable back then. And as of now, they're not acceptable. They're not. So going forward from the Me Too era forward, or the Black Lives Matter movement forward, what are your actions now? How have you learned or changed from that? And I think that's where the difference is with Cuomo. I want to read some of the comments. Richard says, the victims would have been squashed personally and professionally like bugs if they came out when it happened. And I agree with that too, because he's a powerful man. He's a powerful, but But then it comes to why are you coming out now? Like, why are you not afraid professionally or personally now when you know he can, you know, there's something that's going to happen to him where he's going to lose his governorship. So why are you afraid? We're not afraid before he became governor, but now you're, wait, I'm saying it wrong. You were afraid.
You were afraid then, but you're not afraid
now. So, and maybe there's some level of, what do you call that? What's the word? Some level of courage that they had that came forward. So, I mean, you just never know.
But even when Biden was running for president, they had Tara, what was her name? The girl but they kind of buried her.
Yeah.
They buried her. And that was when he was running for president. And this is the other part. And then we can kind of, talk about that for a few minutes and then just end it. But the Democratic Party is the only one that does this, the Republicans don't.
Yes.
And I know that's your shtick, your thing you always say, which is true. They literally will bury their folk. They will bury them. And we had old grab them by the on tape saying this is what I did. Literally grab them, pay off a prostitute you slept with. The guy Matt Gaetz is still he's on the Senate floor showing naked pictures of young girls to other senators, and nothing. This is a senator.
It's not nothing. The news reports it, but they defend their own. It's almost like when you know your child did something wrong, but you're going to defend them because you're the mother. And that's how I see the Republican Party doing. They usually defend their own, or they kind of
no matter what.
Because Matt Gaetz is still in there. There's a few of them that has been.
We have a Supreme Court judge that was accused of literal rape.
But the thing is, the question is accusation versus proof. And I think with Cuomo, he said, let's let the investigation come forward and see what happens. And then it was investigated and it was learned or found that he did sexually harass the people. So
right. But I think in the case of the SCOTUS, the judge, it wasn't proven that she was lying. It was just like they just was like, oh well, the statutory issues because they were teenagers or whatever, and it was just like you never came forward, or it wasn't like he didn't do it. And to even be accused of that, I don't know if you should be a SCOTUS. Should you be a SCOTUS to even have that be? This woman came forward, a couple of women came forward, they testified, they went through all of that. I would have just been like, you know what, I'm not even running anymore, forget it.
But then that's where the slippery slope happens, because anyone can be accused of anything. And then it's like, well, where's the due process? What if someone doesn't like me from my past and they're like, oh, Tiffany did this? Like, where's the line that's drawn? Like, and like I said, with the Democrats, you have more Democrats calling for Cuomo to step down than I've seen any other Republicans or anything. It's like,
it's the craziest thing.
But it's like you have Biden, you have Nancy Pelosi.
Even to the president, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, even the president was like, resign.
For him to resign. And it's like, wow, okay. So I guess they want to seem as if they're the upstanding party. But let me read a few more comments. It says, Jeff says the people are more socially conscious of it now, so they want to backdate previous behavior.
Backdate is a funny word.
Backdate. Like, and that's the thing, you cannot backdate.
Backdate is funny, Devon.
Think about this. Imagine if our parents were given tickets for not having us in seatbelts. That's like a perfect example.
Right.
They didn't put us in seatbelts or car seats. I don't remember having a seatbelt or a car seat in any of the cars. Imagine that being backdated, and now they're getting ticketed for something that was.
That's why I said we're in trouble, because we definitely. There was one time. Truth be told, I forgot my son on top of the car in his car seat. I guess I'm screwed. I did. I was just doing a whole bunch of stuff. And then I had him, and I was like, where's the baby?
Wow.
And you remember at one time?
Drive off.
I know, right? No. We didn't drive off. Do you remember they had the time when they were getting senators and stuff because they had like illegal aliens as housekeepers? Like things you did way back, like they go all the way into but I also think not only do they go back, because I think they do that all the time, but I also think that they kind of pick and choose who they really go in on, because whatever happened with that rape story with Biden, whatever happened,
Yeah,
You
we
just
don't
didn't
know.
hear about it.
We don't know, and
You just
it
didn't hear
wasn't
about it.
investigated. It wasn't like it was
No,
a
it
big
was
thing.
buried.
I would like to know, like some of you guys out there, if you can tell us, like, what do you think with the Cuomo thing?
Ooh.
Was it like a cancel? Did you say whoop?
No, because my I hit the wrong button when I was trying
Oh,
to reply.
Was it more of a cancellation thing in your opinion, or is he paying the piper for something that he did?
Honestly, Tiff, I'm probably gonna have a weird thought on it. I was thinking, who knows?
Wait, let me read I was actually talking to the audience, Miss.
Oh, that's hilarious. I thought you were talking to me. but let me just say, I was thinking that it was because he got so popular.
Yeah.
That it was like, and I really believe that because he really blew up in this last 2 years, and maybe people got a little afraid, because it's always political warfare. It's political warfare. So these women could have been like, now it's time to come out, guys. It looks like he might be our president. You just never know. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just reading the comments with the people were saying, basically Dev and David are saying that they pick their battles, that they pick and choose who they want to attack.
Exactly,
and pass against them.
Yeah.
And Sharon's saying she thinks that he's paying the piper for his past wrongs and things that were not I don't think it was ever socially acceptable, but it was just not frowned upon.
Yeah, I think it was acceptable to. I think it was acceptable to pat your secretaries on the butt.
Yeah,
it was acceptable. It was acceptable to rub their shoulders.
You see shows and movies about that where they actually comment. Now, that's the other thing. When you say a comment, oh, you look nice, you look this way, you like, that's not socially acceptable anymore either. And I don't know. Someone said, actually it's Dev. He said, I think after he publicly won against Trump, they started digging dirt. So basically they're like, wait, we can't have this guy go against.
He was too a lot of people, he was cocky. He was being very, he was like, bring them to me and bring it on and this and that. And, tell him to call me. He's doing that whole, thing. And so that's what I personally believe happened. I believe that they dug it up. They poked it up, poked the bear, or he poked the bear. And because believe me, behind the scenes, this is political warfare. Yeah. I mean, everything is about timing. Everything is about timing in politics. Yeah. If he was just like Governor Murphy over in New Jersey, or the Governor Whitmore in Michigan, he would have just been, come on. He would have just been nothing. It would have been, leave me alone.
Sharon says, I think if he didn't seem so arrogant, he may have been shown a little more mercy. And David says, in most cases, people look out for the people that can get the power. So and both of those are true. And the last comment I saw was they wanted to shut down any political aspiration. So it seems like a consensus that everyone's saying that he went up so high, he rose so high, and that type of behavior, that having that liberal party, that liberal person with that attitude that attracted so many people to Trump, having him get in power, he may get a lot of people that's on his side. So what do you do to kind of like hit him at the knee? So I think that's not to excuse the behavior either.
No, this has nothing to do with whether he was guilty or not. This is why it came out now.
Yeah.
This is we're poly chicks, so we're always thinking from the political angle. This is not about him. He should be tried and found. And please, I don't even waste our time with that, thinking we're trying to condone. Like I said, we're females. First of all, I was a rape crisis counselor. Secondly, and if you did something wrong, you should pay. But I just think it's very weird to have it come out.
Like no, I was gonna say I don't say we're female. Me personally, I do. That's a person.
I'm a woman. I'm not going to see another woman attacked and be like, oh wow, another one coming up.
No.
And I know that it happens to men too. I know that boys get molested and attacked too. You're human. You don't want to see anybody be attacked or anything, but everything is timing. Everything is timing.
And when I say I'm a woman and I don't automatically take the woman's side, it's just if there's an accusation on the table, I'm looking not just because she's a woman that okay, she must be telling the truth. It's the fact of what's there to back up. So I don't automatically assume that the guy is definitely the culprit or the guy is definitely in the wrong. But also I'm looking at, in my personal opinion, well, opinions are always personal, right?
Me myself personally.
In my opinion, I have to say that 20 years ago, certain things were socially acceptable, and I disagree completely with people being held accountable for socially, not criminally, socially acceptable behavior back then. No, if it was a rape that happened back then, it would be totally different. But you're talking about socially acceptable behavior. We have sitcoms back then. Remember on The Honeymooners, Ralph Cramden used to threaten to punch the hell out of his wife. So that was
excuse me, everybody knows I love Lucy. Ricky spanked Lucy on an episode. Spanked her.
Come on. These were socially acceptable back then, but now are we judging based on now or based on then? No one
they even smoked in front of their kids. They smoked right in the living room, smoked in restaurants. I mean, a lot of things. Not that smoking can be compared to sexual harassment, but just his behavior, the behaviors of slap a girl on the butt, hey, calling women girl. Like, she works for me. I have a girl in my office that's so and so. I remember I worked for this older white man in the garment district, and he used to call me girl, and I never answered him. Wow. Because at that time I was a woman. He'd be like, "Hey, girl." He had a cigarette raspy kind of. He was like, "Hey, girl." And I never answered him. I just was like, "Get out of here. I'm not answering you. I don't care if you fire me." So
Sharon says, when you dig deep enough, you'll always find something. And then David is saying they destroy the people they want to shut down. And Cindy, you and I were talking about this. They did that to Andrew Gillum in Florida and others that were led differently. And that is so true. Yeah, they bury like, you know what? Let's pull that thread and see how much we can unravel from that. Yep. And like Sharon's saying, you can, if you dig deep enough, my past is very checkered. And if I ever ran for office, trust me, I'm gonna let everybody know all the skeletons. And you can't. I mean,
that is hilarious.
Criminally, but it's like, you know what? This is who I am. This is the makeup of the person, and it's the past. It's not something that you should judge me on from when you grow.
And so Sharon said, the timing is suspect. That's my only point about it. It's that I don't know what year did they say it started happening in 2015 or
I don't remember what year. I don't remember what year, but it wasn't after the Me Too movement. When did the Me Too movement start? It started in like
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so it wasn't after that. And the people were saying that he had.
And why didn't he come out in the Me Too movement, right?
I don't know. And they said he had this anti-sexual harassment in the workplace bill that came out in 2019. And if he sexually harassed someone after that anti-sexual harassment bill, then I'm like, come on now you pushing it. But
when they say sexual harassment, there's off-color jokes. There's him being touchy-feely, and then there's literally me grabbing you by some part. So I wonder what because part? It seemed like it was.
Go ahead.
Well, the part that makes me different than you.
Than me?
I said than him.
Oh, okay. Well, nowadays you never know. So
nowadays you never know, but specifically him. There's, you know what I mean? So like if I pat you on the butt and I hug you a little longer than whatever, and maybe there's some photos of you maybe kissing me too inappropriately, and you're older, you're not filthy rich, maybe to what I'm attracted to, I'm fine. I'm thinking even if you were more my type, would this have even been an issue? You know what I mean? Like,
no.
It wouldn't be sexual harassment then.
I was gonna say that my friend Deb always says that it depends on who is sexually harassing, because if George Clooney was sexually harassing every female in the office, they'd be like, "Oh, he loves me so much."
Boris Kojo, can you imagine?
Yeah, man. Or I'm in love with Idris Elba now because
Idris. Can you imagine Idris?
I like comes over to my desk every day, like, "Hey, Tev, what's going on? Oh, that's a nice blouse." I'll be like, "This every day."
You'd be like, "Oh, that's not harassment,
right?
That's not harassment."
And that's
because you like him.
That's where it becomes a very sticky situation where it's like you and think about this. The navigation that men have to go through to understand how to approach a woman nowadays
a lot of work.
whew, it's like when we tell Donnie, he said something like, he said, because you're a woman. Everybody in the car was my two brothers, me and David, and all the guys turned around and was like, you can't say that.
You can't say nothing. But look at Devon said, we all have to take the test now at work for sexual harassment, and it's a real slippery slope. He also said, if someone doesn't find a person attractive, they can be viewed as sexual harassment. And that's what I believe. Because if you find, even if I'm married, 4 kids at home, any amount of attention, if you find, I think it's just regular attention. But if I think you're just hideous to me, old or whatever, was not floating my boat, it's harassment. I'm going to pull the harassment cord.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that's going to be like, he should pay. And I see a lot of people just celebrating, but I think I could be wrong about this too. I think it's the people that are very extremely happy was also angry with him about things with COVID.
Yeah.
About the nursing home situation, because a lot of the comments that I read on YouTube videos is all about the nursing home. They don't care about these women being attacked in some way or felt sexually harassed. They don't care about that. They're like, look what he got. Look what he did to the people in the nursing home. I'm like, that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
This is not about the nursing homes.
Yeah, stop. But somebody had to bring these women out, 11 different women or 12 or however many the count is at now. Someone orchestrated this entire coming out.
They were angry with him. He had a lot of battles going because of the COVID restrictions.
Remember, there was a lot of women that came out with Trump. There was 1 and then 2 and then 5 and then 7. So someone is orchestrating the
always
against, and they're looking and taking polls to find out who.
But the thing is, Tiff, though, I personally don't believe these women were unknown. I knew these women. I had them on my list, and I use them when I feel like using them. It's political capital.
Yeah.
I believe people knew about Trump's history of harassing his women in the pageant, his history of grab them, his history of cheating on his wives, his history. I mean, look, he had 3 or 4 whatever it was, wives. These people that are your opponents, they have all this information already.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for the right minute to use it.
And certain people, it doesn't stick. Like Trump, they always say he's the Teflon Don. And
oh my God, he's Teflon.
It does not stick to him. And like I said, it's that attitude of this is who I am. That's why I said if I ever run for office, you're gonna know who I am, and I'm not gonna be apologetic.
People will love it.
I'm personally flawed, and everybody is. Like
everybody is.
And I think that's what's so attractive about him too. And that's what was attractive about Cuomo, because he even admitted, like I said at the beginning, he said this was socially acceptable before, and I didn't appreciate the fact that things changed. Well, like, hey, so, but we're all, like I said, most of us on this call are New Yorkers, and we know how, that feeling with the Cuomo. Like I said, it's not acceptable now in today's terms. It probably wasn't acceptable back then either, but I mean, it's one of those things where we have to judge people based on what they're doing and how they learn now. So
I don't even know, I'm on the fence. Are we going to end it with this question?
David said I should run for Senate.
You should run for Senate. You're so smart. I mean, your attention span is a little.
Yeah, because I'm already like trying to
because I'm asking you something and you're like, oh yeah. Okay. Seriously, 30 seconds or less, I think we both can answer this question. I don't know what my answer is going to be, but do you think he should have resigned?
In my opinion, no, I don't think he should have resigned. I probably would have waited until I was impeached and went down fighting like he said he would, and just fight to the end. That's just the nature.
Does he have a chance to run for presidency, you think?
He should. Why not? It doesn't, accusations apparently do not stop you from running for political office, as we see.
Because I think they're trying to bury him. Like they're trying to impeach him. They're going after him criminally.
I still would try.
They're trying to bury him. I was on the fence with should he have resigned. I personally, if I said I wasn't going to resign, I need some tapes and pictures of me doing whatever you said I did. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I would come out with everything I had. Like every piece of information that I had on this issue, I would try to come out with it. I'm not trying to bury the person that's accusing me. I'm just gonna make my defense.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna be like, listen, I knew her. This is what I know about her. I knew this one. This is what I know about this one. And hey, we had a president that admitted to grabbing him and he didn't go down. So I don't know.
He didn't go anywhere. He stood fast and said,
not
hey.
even after being on tape admitting that he knew the virus was bad and still wanted to bury it. I think and at that point, 500,000 people had already died. So I think that's impeachable, or you should resign. You incompetent.
Yeah.
But hey, what do I know? I think Getz should step down. I think there's a lot of people that should step down.
And they're fighting. So basically the audience is saying he should have went down fighting.
Right. He should have fought.
David says reports that by resigning, he is saving his political future. People were saying that he's saving his future by resigning.
Yeah.
I think going down as a fighter, devastating.
Yeah, I would fight.
And Cuomo was one was a businessman and the other was a lifer political figure. So I mean, the consensus is I would have went down fighting. You should, if he said he was gonna fight, he should have fought. That's bottom line. Yeah. So, but guys, it's been good. Thanks for the participation and always having the support of our followers. We truly appreciate you guys. So, see, Cindy said it. Yay! I'm gonna run. I was gonna say I'm gonna do a jump and jiggle, but
the thing what I would be scared about if you ran, Tiff, is your mouth.
Yeah, I know.
I would be like, oh God, she said it. Oh God.
Well, I'm not as bad as our friend from the IRS. I'm not as bad as her.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
Sharon, she's a great comment. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks again.
Thanks for watching. We done?
Yes, 2polychicks@gmail.com.
All right.
Want to notate any topics and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at 2polychicks.
Okay, bye guys. Bye.
Well, I have to go in and close us out. I always forget that. Okay, bye. No, you can leave. Bye guys.
Bye guys. Bye.